This is China, a nation marked by rapid industrial growth, technological advancements, and manufacturing power.
While it shares many traits with other global economies, there are key distinctions. One is scale. With a population of over 1.4 billion, China hosts the largest labor force in the world. Tens of millions migrate from inland provinces to cities each year, seeking factory and service jobs. Another is structure. While market reforms have opened China's economy, state planning and government intervention still plays a major role. As supply for labor is abundant, both the cost of goods and services, such as delivery, food, and transportation, are significantly cheaper than in other nations. For China's upper and middle income citizens, this is a clear win. They're allowed to keep a relatively high quality of life with rather low costs. However, a huge proportion of China's population are made not out of the upper and middle income citizens, but of manual laborers and lower income citizens, which raises the question, what is it like for a manual worker in the current job market? Are people better or worse with recent developments? And what's in store for the future? To answer that, we need to take a closer look at Zhongshan, one of China's manufacturing strongholds in the Pearl River Delta. Zhongshan sits in the heart of Guangdong's Pearl River Delta, one of the most densely industrialized regions in the world. Its waterways provide direct access to major shipping routes, making it an ideal hub for moving both raw materials in and finished products out. Over the past few decades, investment from across China and overseas have transformed Zhongshan into a network of specialized manufacturing zones. Jewelry in one district, electronics in another, furniture in another still. Within each cluster, small workshops feed components to larger assembly plants, creating complete supply chains without leaving the city. This concentration of industry keeps low costs and turnaround times fast, allowing Zhongshan to compete not just within China, but on the global export market. But such efficiency comes with a trade-off. The same interconnectedness that drives growth also means that when demand shifts, the effects are felt across the city almost overnight. In Zhongshan, factory output rarely stays constant. Instead, production runs in waves or cycles, shifting between months of intense overtime and sudden slowdowns. When large orders arrive, shifts can stretch to 12 hours or more, 7 days a week. Over time, pay adds up, but so does exhaustion. When demand falls, the opposite happens. Assembly lines slow and workers are sent home without pay, sometimes for weeks. To adapt, factory keeps a small core component of permanent employees while flooding the rest of their workforce with temporary hires. On paper, both groups earn similar hourly wages. In practice, permanent staff have contracts, benefits, and legal protections. Temporary workers have none of these and can be dismissed at any time. During official inspections, temps are often told to stay home entirely, hidden from government records. So where do these temporary workers come from? In the city of Zhongshan, many are recruited by labor agencies, private intermediaries who act as the link between factories and rural workers. These agencies send representatives to villages across China, offering quick job replacements and transport to the city. Once hired, workers are placed directly on the factory floor. In return, the agency takes a cut, often 1 to 1.5 yuan for every hour worked. For a 12-hour shift, that means losing up to 18 yuan a day before wages even reach the workers' pockets. For factories, this arrangement is efficient. It removes the burden of recruitment, contracts, and benefits. For workers, it creates a dependence on an intermediary who can reassign them or drop them with little notice. And as the agencies grow in scale, they become a permanent fixture of Zhongshan's labor market, shaping who gets work and on what terms. On the employer side, hiring through agencies saves factories money, but it comes at a cost. Managers say temporary workers are harder to rely on. Without contracts or long-term ties, some walk away mid-shift or disappear after just a few days. One HR manager told us about a worker who used the same excuse, a death in the family, multiple times, just to collect quick pay before leaving. Quality can also suffer. Agency recruits often need more supervision, and disputes on the floor can range from small arguments to full-blown fights. Though with so many agencies in the region supplying fresh hands, factory accepts the trade-off, preferring a constant, if unpredictable, labor supply over the risk of recruiting on their own. On the factory floor, the line between motivation and exploitation can blur. In one plastic container plant, a worker told us they don't care about how hard they work. If they see 4 people working well with their workload, they'll try putting 3 people there to see if it can work. Supervisors push quotas higher, sometimes speeding up conveyor belts when they see a team keeping pace. Verbal pressure is common, and with so many temporary laborers available, the unspoken threat of replacement hangs over every shift. If you can't take it, someone else will. Some factories try other tactics. Posters in cafeterias outline a path from discipline to success, warning that laziness leads to a ruined life. Morning meetings praise top performers, framing straight oversight as care. Others offer sports matches, holiday events, or point systems when good behavior can be traded for prizes. But these often favor office staff. For hourly workers, joining an event means losing wages, and for many who can't read or write, point-based suggestion schemes are out of reach. As society progresses, the biggest challenge ahead may not be rising costs, but finding people to do the work at all. Executives we spoke to say the pool of willing manual laborers is shrinking fast. Younger generations, better educated and more connected, see factory work as a dead end. Parents in rural areas often urge their children to come home at the first sign of mistreatment. To adapt, some plants are turning to technology. Digitization systems track production in real time, flagging slowdowns in defective batches instantly. Automation goes further, replacing workers altogether. At one large factory, new machines have cut the need for physical labor by 40% in just 4 years, and management hopes to have it again within a decade. The math is simple. A machine's operating cost can be just 30% of a worker's wage for the same output. The choice facing managers is no longer whether to automate, but how quickly they can do it, without disrupting the delicate balance of cost, quality, and human supply. In conclusion, labor in Zhongshan is both the foundation and the most expendable part of the manufacturing machine. The system thrives on flexibility, shifting headcounts to match demand, leaning on agencies to supply an endless stream of new hands. For permanent staff, stability comes at the price of relentless pressure. For temporary workers, the price is uncertainty, no benefits, no protection, and no guarantee of work tomorrow. As automation accelerates and the supply of willing labor shrinks, the value of human workers may decline even further. Machines don't take breaks, don't demand healthcare, and never quit mid-shift. Yet behind every exported product is still a person, someone who moved hundreds of miles to stand at the line, who worked 12-hour shifts for weeks of a time, and who can't be replaced with a phone call. The future of Zhongshan's factory may be faster, cheaper, and more efficient, but for the people inside them, it remains an open question whether that future will have room for them at all.